They tried to seize my $400,000 plot of land, claiming it violated aesthetics. What they didn't know? I'm the nephew of the county recorder. The first letter looked innocent. Cream-colored envelope, embossed HOA seal. I almost didn't open it. I wish I hadn't. It started the week after I inherited the lot. Just under an acre, prime hillside, tucked behind an old walnut orchard. I'd spent 3 summers clearing the place with my uncle, Uncle Ray. Vietnam vet. County recorder for 17 years. He'd deeded it to me the spring before he passed. This land's clean, he'd told me. Permits tight. Boundaries recorded. The HOA didn't care. A month later, I got my first citation. Unapproved storage of construction materials. You mean the stack of bricks I was saving to build a fire pit? They fined me $300. Then $100 per day after that. I thought it was a mistake, until I saw the signature at the bottom. Marcia Bellevue. Board President. Retired Realtor. Power suit and pearls, even at the mailbox. The kind of smile that made your skin itch. I went to the next HOA meeting to clear things up. Didn't even make it past the foyer. Not open to non-residents, the security guy grunted. But I am a resident. I own lot 17. He checked a clipboard, then smirked. Not according to our map. What map? That night, I drove home fuming, and found someone had thrown eggs at my trailer window. 3 yellow splatters. I'd barely told anyone I was back on the lot. But word travels fast in little towns. The next morning, my neighbor Shelley came by. Middle-aged, runs a dog rescue out of her garage. Be careful, she warned. Last guy who challenged Marcia. They got him for yard debris. Lost his permit and everything. That's when I realized, I wasn't just being fined. I was being erased. The fines kept coming. Then came the petition, request to rezone parcel 17. Their goal? Annex my land into the HOA's full jurisdiction. But here's the kicker, I was never part of the HOA. Uncle Ray's lot was one of 3 original parcels carved out before the HOA charter even existed. He kept it separate on purpose. There were legal filings. Boundary lines. Recorded deeds. I dug out the paperwork and went to the county office. My old scoutmaster, Dave, worked records. Bald guy, big laugh. He pulled up the parcel index and grinned. Lot 17. That's your uncle's legacy. Not under any HOA covenant. Knowledge nugget number 1, just because you live near an HOA doesn't mean you're under it. Check the original parcel plat and look for Covenant Conditions and Restrictions, CC and RS, filed with the county. If it's not recorded, it's not enforceable. That should have ended it. Instead, it got worse. They started calling me the squatter. One Saturday, I caught 2 board members snooping behind my trailer, taking photos of my compost bin. When I confronted them, one muttered, "We're just documenting violations." I posted the footage online. It went semi-viral. 48,000 views in 3 days. Then someone filed a noise complaint against me. At 2 a.m. My truck got towed the following week, from my own driveway. That's when Shelley came by again. This time, with a manila folder. Someone left this in my mailbox. Thought you'd want to see it. Inside, copies of internal emails. Printed. Highlighted. Marcia to the board, he thinks that land's his. But the new assessor's map shows lot 17 as open green space. Once the annex goes through, we'll rezone it undevelopable. That'll cut his legs out. So this wasn't about violations. This was about control. And Marcia had help. Enter, Richard Vellman. HOA attorney. Former city planner. He'd been quietly rewriting their bylaws for the last 2 years. Shelley said he'd been bragging about streamlining enforcement and targeting non-compliant parcels. I pulled his bar records. Turns out, he once worked with the same law firm that handled my uncle's estate. That's when it clicked, he knew Lot 17 was exempt. They were bluffing, hoping I'd crack. But I had more than a shovel and a grudge, I had receipts. First, I got a certified copy of the 1994 exemption filed by my uncle. Then I requested the full plat map from county surveying. It clearly labeled Lot 17 as excluded, non-HOA jurisdiction. Knowledge nugget number 2, any attempt to annex a parcel into an HOA must follow state-specific laws. In most states, you can't forcibly annex without 100% consent from the affected parcel owner, even if the HOA votes for it internally. When I emailed that to the board, radio silence for 3 days. Then I got a visit from the county zoning inspector. "This about your soil fill?" he asked. "What soil fill?" Apparently, someone had reported me for unauthorized earthwork. Said I was reshaping a natural creek bed, potential EPA violation. They cited me. Again. $8,200 fine, pending review. I could feel them tightening the screws. That night, I found tire tracks near the back of my lot. Someone had driven through the orchard. I set up trail cams. A week later, caught a black Escalade idling by the ridge line. License plate traced back to, yep, Richard Velman. That's when I went nuclear. I called in a favor, from my cousin Angie. She works in the auditor's office. I told her everything. The emails. The fake maps. The stalking. A week later, she sent me a PDF. A secret fund. Buried deep in the HOA's books, coded as Green Corridor Expansion Project. Budget line, $27,000 allocated for land acquisition and clearing. And right there, in the grant application, Lot 17. They'd been planning this for a year. A total land grab. Screenshot this clause and tag a friend who needs HOA armor, I posted. I highlighted the kicker. Lot 17 is currently unoccupied and unmanaged. I uploaded drone footage of my cleared lot. My trailer. My mail. My footprints. Then I lawyered up. I filed a cease and desist. Then a formal complaint with the State HOA Oversight Commission. Cited fraudulent annexation, harassment, and misuse of funds. The community rallied behind me. Shelley went door to door with a petition. The local paper ran an op-ed, "Who really owns Hilltop Grove?" By fall, the county opened a formal investigation. I showed them the secret fund. The fake map. The surveillance photos. Richard Velman resigned within a week. Marcia. She tried to pin it all on rogue board members. Even cried at the next meeting. But the damage was done. Knowledge nugget number 3, HOA board members have fiduciary duties. That means they're personally liable if they use HOA funds deceptively, even for approved projects. When the state filed charges for misappropriation of funds, Marcia skipped town. Literally. Left a box of old meeting minutes in the rec center and vanished. I won the hearing. Got the EPA fines dropped. My land was formally declared outside the HOA. I built the fire pit. Just like Uncle Ray wanted. And then, I did something wild. I donated part of the land to a local conservation group, for a scholarship fund in Ray's name. Every year, a kid from our town gets $5,000 to study public service. The HOA board was gutted. Shelley got elected president. The rest resigned or disappeared. I thought it was over. Until last week. I found a key taped under my trailer. No note. Just a red ribbon. And when I checked the trail cam footage, the Escalade was back. Next week, the city that tried to steal a solar farm. Stay tuned.